Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, reviewing anything and everything. And today we're getting into another Lego Microfighter build. This is set 75400. We not that long ago just reviewed a Microfighter for the Captain Rex Y-Wing Microfighter. So this one actually has a little less pieces than that at 89 pieces versus 99 the other one. So it's $10 pieces less. But I think that the demand for this figure, Plo Koon's Jedi Starfighter Microfighter, I think that this character, which is Plo Koon, a Jedi, is actually a pretty high demand to be able to get a Jedi for a decent price. Now, the base price of this, I want to say, is about $15, which is kind of high for what you're getting. You aren't even getting a complete droid. You're just getting the head of one. But you are getting, I was able to pick this up on sale for like about 11 and some change, so roughly about $12. So maybe if you catch it on sale, it won't be so bad, but I definitely think the base price of this is a little high. I think the ship though itself looks pretty cool. It's a micro-sized version of the Jedi Starfighter, like the Obi-Wan one that is still out right now and can be purchased, but then that goes for $23. Normally, the retail may have started off at a higher price, but often you see it as $23 on Amazon normally. Now, what's funny is that when this figure first came out, and I thought about getting it, I wasn't sure if I was going to get it or not. I said to myself, you could buy this in the Obi-Wan one and then set it up where you just take some of the blue on this and put it onto that. It's not going to look exactly the way it should, but you could have him riding, a regular size Jedi Starfighter, and which would have been nice. You could even take the head of this droid and put it on the body of the other one, so it's not exactly like the same one as the Obi-Wan. But it's funny because later on, somebody took the Jedi Bob one, which is a little bit more expensive than the Obi-Wan one, and then they took some other $10 3-in-1 set of like this kind of blue. It's got a lot of blue in it, of like a regular not a jet, but like a regular plane, one of those ones where the engine is in the front, the propeller engine is in front, that type of design. And they were able to put it together. So there is like a build for that. My only issue with that is that the Jedi Bob one, even though it's a little more cheaper than what it was when it first came out, it's still relatively expensive versus you getting the Obi-Wan one. But I think the difference is that the Jedi Bob Starfighter uses like white wings with some red accent pieces, so you're able to just replace those with blue accent pieces, where the Obi-Wan's one uses red wings, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that's the difference. So if you didn't mind having a slightly alternated version or look to the Plo Koon's one where it's got some red in it, you can alternate in without getting that other extra 3-in-1. You could alternatively just buy the Obi-Wan and then customize it yourself with some blue accents from this without actually doing the whole, like I said, it's not going to be as accurate, but it will cost you a lot less, where it'd just be an extra 23 and some change dollars, as opposed to, that's interesting. As opposed to you buying, I think the Jedi Bob is on sale. It might be 30, but I think it's at least 35 normally. And that other ship is $10. So you're looking in total, you're looking at an additional $45 on top of the price of this to have his thing, which is like a bit of a stretch when you consider that the Obi-Wan, granted, it's been out for a while, so it's always on discount, but it's just $23 by itself. So at that point, it's definitely cheaper to do that if you just wanted to have it. And it's something I've been contemplating, but I haven't decided to do it yet. But it's something I'm thinking about and I'm contemplating. So anyway, I'm going to put this together really quick, and then we'll be back with the review of Plo Koon's Starfighter, Micro Starfighter. All right, guys, so we're back with the finished build and a few of the extra pieces here. Here goes Plo Koon. We'll take a look at him really quickly. Make sure my lighting is good. So Let me zoom in a little bit on him. So you can see there, he's got his robes. The face mold, everyone was kind of happy about when it came to this one, because there was an older version that had like a soft plastic or almost like a rubber on his face here. And I think that you started wearing out over time. This one's got a hard plastic, so it shouldn't wear out at all, which is nice. You see some of the back detail printing, which is also nice. And I think a lot of people are gonna obviously get this for the figure, but then you have the the Microfighter Jedi Starfighter. Now, based off of the Delta 7, for the best of my knowledge. And it looks nice. I think it looks nice. Like I said before, in past videos of Microfighters, is that it's usable as like maybe just an in-atmosphere ship if you want to use it for that, in terms of your displays or your play, in case, you know, maybe your kids are playing with it, whatever the case is. But as far as, you know, obviously, you know, you're not going to use something like this for the purpose of your collection of in space travel type of things. It has no hood that goes over it if the figure is sitting in it. The droid is just the headpiece, and that is it. But a fun fact is that there were actually some ships in the Star Wars universe, I don't know which ones, but certain starfighters that only had the droid's head there without the body, because the idea was that there was a certain type of mechanics that were not included. I forget what it was. I think it was like a something as far as like a navigation system or something like that. I forget exactly what it was when I was hearing these details, but it would say that some of these ships lacked certain, not specifically this one, but certain types of starfighters, or, you know, like fighter sized ships lacked certain onboard controls and mechanics that they couldn't fit into the system. So what they would use is they put one of these kind of droids built into it for the purpose of supplementing that. The only difference though is because that was the case, they didn't need the droid to be one that comes in and out. It was just to supplement certain mechanics, like technological hardware that was not included in the ship because of, I guess, because of size restraints or whatever the case is. It was easier to put a droid in it than it was to build those into the hard system of the ship. So I remember hearing about that before, and how some of the droids do not have the bodies, just the heads are built in, and it's just for the purpose of giving that. So it'd be like almost the equivalent of, I guess you could say, a car that has built-in navigation versus you bringing your phone, and rather than something having the full built-in hardware of your stereo system, which is a lot more mechanics, you just bring your cell phone, and now that acts as your navigation, as your radio, as all those kind of things in a small handheld package, versus a full console system, which is what your stereo is. It's really behind that screen. It's taking up a lot more space. So it's kind of like that in terms of the way it was described. So for that reason, I would say that this is not a non-canon concept. I don't know if his particular ship had a full-on droid, but just know that this was something that actually was the case. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong with this. I think that Obi-Wan's, and correct me in the comments if I'm incorrect, but I think even in episode 2, I think it was actually, I could be mistaken, but referring to, I'm going to look this up after the fact, that in episode 2, Obi-Wan's ship, the droid didn't come out. The head was just there for that purpose, but it didn't come out. I could be wrong, but I think that was the case. But anyway, yeah, that was a bit of a rant. I think it's nice. You got this right here is the holder for the lightsaber, which is nice that they included that, because I know that on the full-size version, like Obi-Wan's, you have the clips underneath there. So it's nice that they included that. You got the stud shooters here. I threw these on here for the extra pieces, and I threw this on here for the extra piece. It doesn't normally go there, but being that it was an extra piece, I just figured to use it. Oh, it wasn't an extra piece. Look at that. I forgot to actually put it where it's supposed to go. Look at that. So you guys see a mistake on screen. There we go. I guess in the rush of putting it together, I didn't even realize. So there you go. All right. So I think it's actually a nice purchase. If you can get it on sale, I definitely recommend it. If you could avoid purchasing this full price, because honestly, it is, this is not clamped down all the way. It is a little pricey, honestly, at full price, $15 for the Microfighter, when in real reality, you really just probably want Plo Koon. So if you can catch it on sale, even if it's not much of a sale, but if you can catch it, like I said, I caught it on Amazon for about $11.99. It's still $3 off the regular price, which is still better than nothing. Yeah, I'd say that'd be the, we'll just wait for it to go on sale. The Rex Microfighter, as I mentioned before, even though I got it a lot later, came down to $7 some change, where I think its price was about $12 maybe, or $13 for its original price. So sometimes it's worth it just waiting for Lego sets to go on sale. Lego sets can sometimes be pricey nowadays, but if you wait for them to go on sale, then you're getting a deal that's not all that bad. As always, you guys, like, share, comment, subscribe, but I'll catch you guys in the next video.